Alright, it's Clinton and Mr. Kevin from CNC Equipment. What are we working on today?
A big old bulldozer.
Big old bulldozer. If you guys have not seen, we hauled in a big old D8K out of Kentucky. There's a couple videos on that dude. I'll link them down below. One was hauling this dude in, another one was actually picking the blade up for it. So the thing was so big and heavy, I actually took the blade off. It was over with. Had to have pilot cars, but anyway, it's all laying outside. What are we working on today? The whole thing?
Let's go for the D342.
D342.
Not to be
Let's
exact.
talk about the tractor here a little bit. This is actually an ex-military machine. Even though it's painted yellow, you guys might see some green underneath of it. Come from a training school. It's actually really low hours, even though it looks ugly. But we got a lot of other ugly things here, don't we? We can make it look pretty again. That's what I was saying. There's some green paint under there. They actually painted it with a brush. Probably had some kids doing it. Tractor doesn't have very much time on it. You guys can see the undercarriage standing tall. There's no wear on the bushings, sprockets, rollers are good. We're actually going to do a video on measuring the undercarriage on dozers. So you guys might want to check that out. If you noticed, we did one a while back on the excavator. So we're going to pull this dude in here and do a complete service on it. Last time it got serviced was 2018, they told me. They've not really run it much since then. They did start it up every month to keep everything lubed up and everything. So they rebuilt a bunch of cylinders in. The tractor's not been run much its whole life, but they did keep it running and starting moving, so that's a big plus there. It's got the big single shank ripper on it. This tractor right now is weighing around 71,000 pounds without the blade on it, so it's a big chunk of iron. The blade on it weighs around 82,000 and some change. So what are we working on today? You gonna tell him about this big old motor? He's got it all Wikipedia'd up because
this is just head knowledge.
so this is a D342 Caterpillar. It's kind of an big old school. It's got 5-gallon piston bucket things in it.
5 3/4 by 8-inch stroke.
5 3/4 bore by 8-inch stroke. It's 1,249 cubic inches.
1,246 cubic inches that idles at 450 RPMs.
So this dude,
Plop, 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 plop.
1,246 cubes, idling at 450.
Red lining at 1,300.
1,300 is the governed top speed on it. And it's 300 horsepower in this configuration, so that motor is going to run a long time. But yeah, it's funny because they don't sound like they're revved up very high, but they keep on chugging and pushing. They're strong old tractors for sure. But that's a big old motor. So you guys may see we've got a bunch of lube up there, don't we?
Yeah, there seems to be a second separation point on the manifold.
So if you guys watched this previous video, you may have noticed when the thing started up, it blew smoke out from 360 degrees. Reason is she's got some cracked manifolds. You guys can see up there, black smoke everywhere. Actually, the turbo ring's leaking. That crossover pipe's got a hole in it. There's some broken bolts in the turbo housing. The only part that's actually good, this manifold split in two that has 2 separate heads on it. This part appears to be good, but I know how these situations go.
Let's not kid ourselves.
So I bought a whole bunch of new aftermarket parts from ITR America. We are a dealer for them, so if you guys need something, they supply a lot of aftermarket stuff. We got new left and right manifolds. Got a new crossover pipe. Got a new aftermarket turbo. Got some studs, gaskets. Kevin's got some new seat cushions because you're going to make this thing look beautiful again. It's going to need a lot of work. We got the blade sitting outside. It's all going to be put back together and probably put on it. You guys notice about the only big flaw is that grill there. What are we going to do about that?
We better make one.
So while you guys were sleeping, I got the plasma cutter lit up over here. It's actually cutting out a grill. I've actually made a couple grills before for these tractors. I've had a few, so we got it over here running in the dark. Cutting out a brand new grill. It's a lot of holes to punch. That's going to take a little while to do that. So what we're going to work on, we're going to get the hood yanked off this dude. Kevin's up on top Mount Rushmore.
I'm going to need this muffler, though.
What are you going to do with that muffler?
I'm going to put it on my truck.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't think your truck's got enough juice to do that, bud.
Hey.
You guys notice we've got a hole here. We've got a custom hole here.
Ooh, yeah.
So there's a couple different configurations on the mufflers on this thing. One configuration come out through the hood here, laid horizontal. and then it had a pipe coming up. So you see all that goodness over there?
Yeah.
So fortunately, all I've got's later style. I think some of this is the earlier style. I'm not sure. So we may just straight stack it to.
Baloney cut it.
You gotta have earplugs during this thing anyway, so it don't matter. Baloney cut.
This way.
And we need to get the smoke on. Have you seen this thing fire up? There's a lot of smoke.
It'll be awesome.
Not sure what's all gonna go on. You can show the people over there all that pipe. Not sure what's gonna go on with all that. It may disappear. It's all optional.
Good night.
So we'll figure something out. Well,
Some way.
it may not have a muffler on it when it gets done, is all I got to say.
It won't. My vote.
It's not going to matter anyway. These things are loud. Well, me and Mr. Kevin's going to get the hood set off here. He's already got the air cleaner cover off. And we're going to tackle this exhaust manifold. I wish us luck.
Got me all,
There we are.
you got me all confused.
We're going up top.
Oh, up, no. Oh,
Are you on? Is that higher than 5.9 1/4?
I don't know.
Oh, bud.
What's that?
I got a rubber hooky over here.
A rubber hook. Hang on. Another rubber
I
hook.
stretched it to.
Well, she broke.
She's never been stretched that far before. Why did the hood go over here? Now we can see some of this American iron under here.
It's like two separate engines.
It's humongous. There's a split in the two heads. All right.
Is that the spark plug?
You know what we need is like a toolbox elevated up here because we're like way up.
Forklift? Forklifts?
Crossed my mind.
Okay.
That's
I got it.
Big old dude. Alright, it's looking a little different in it.
Yeah.
This crap is heavy. They wasn't messing around back in the day.
Hey, they had to deal with the city sewer system because this is sewer pipe is what this is.
It's like, yeah, and it's like an inch thick. You guys can see this dude's cracked here. There's a crack back here. This sleeve's all loose. We've got exhaust leaks here. Kevin's got a hole over there.
Show them the biggest disappointment of all.
Oh, you don't like this big 6-inch into a 2-inch hole?
Yeah. Yeah.
Turbo feels good.
Oh, good.
We can probably use that for a forklift, can't we?
Double impeller.
Double.
Yep. Yep.
Maybe we need to save some of the spot. We'll just leave all this together. So that's what we've been talking about here. I think we're going to leave all this together. We're getting ready to see what kind of party we're getting ready to have here. We're
We're
gonna
going to leave Advil now.
We're going to leave her all together, probably forklift this thing out in one big old piece. So we'll get the torch out and see what happens. Yeah, I got the torch ready.
Okay.
I'm going to heat the nuts up. If you just go to busting these loose, you know what's going to happen. They're going to bust.
Party foul.
So hey, you know, I was looking at something while you were doing something. Did you know that 43% of the people are not subscribed to our channel? So you know what we should do? We should make them hit that little notification bell right now and that little subscribe button.
Bam!
So they're subscribed so you don't miss out on cool stuff like this getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
You know what else we got for sale?
What's that?
T-shirts and stickers on the website.
Oh, yeah.
Links in the description. If you guys need some merch. Are you ready to party?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay.
Here comes some fun.
2 cracks. That one just opened up. There's lots of cracks. I bet that side might come off. Maybe. Well, somewhat of a success.
That's right.
If the studs are good, 2 studs come out, the rest of the nuts come off the other ones. Who knows what they look like once we get them off, but we're ready for some pry bars and forklift action, ain't we? Alright, we got the front half off, not where it's supposed to, just where it's broken. It's supposed to come apart right here. You guys can see it's broken. We're going to get the old forklift out here, put a chain around here, because I'm guaranteeing that chunk of iron is a little bit heavy. Forklift. Got her. Going up. Okay, back up. Alright, I'm going to take a peek at this stuff up here, see how these studs look, get the gaskets off there, get everything cleaned up. Those studs will come out, we'll probably put new ones on there just because we got some. We'll see how they do here. Everything cleaned up, all in all that part's looking good. You guys can see all that black smoke's where that was leaking at in several places, blowing it all out through the radiator. We'll get this all cleaned up and we'll be back. Alright, got that grill cut out yesterday. It sit there and run probably for about 5 hours, but finally got everything cut out. I actually had a hiccup about 3/4 of the way through. The computer program crashed for whatever reason, so I had to go back, find a start point, and that took forever. And anyway, got her all cut out. Looking good. We'll let that thing dry off there a little bit. Maybe later on today, if I get time, we might try to shape it. I got those braces cut, and maybe we'll get her welded up. I was trying to get it done yesterday. Tucker come over and did a little bit of welding on some belly pans for 850. I was going to try to let him weld that up, but here's the braces that go behind it. I cut these out already. You guys can see they've got a curve on them there. I had to match the curve on the front of that grill, so we'll use those for struts. Behind her, you guys can kind of see they've got some struts in here already, but we're going to try to mimic that. But just want to show you guys that real quick. So anyway, I got the all the studs come out. I used 2 nuts, locked them together, and they all come out pretty good. Tapped all the holes out, and I think we're ready. I got new studs here, got anti-seize on them. I think we're ready to put those in there. We got new gaskets too. Actually, had to get a couple seals. So they got this manifold in 2 pieces. The big reason is there's 2 separate heads on there, so there's a split in the middle. So if we got a little bit of misalignment, that will help take that up. I forgot to order these rings. I actually had these dropped overnight by Cat, so got a couple new sealing rings. They're kind of just like a steel piston ring. It just helps seal up the exhaust. These are actually used on the turbo section where it goes in the little sleeve there. So another reason I do these in 2 pieces, I think it keeps heat and contraction, keeps it from cracking quite as bad. So get a big long piece of cast like that, it really grows and shrinks. So just split that up so that doesn't happen. Anyway, I'm gonna get those studs stuck in there and try to get that dude slid on there, and then we can stick that turbo back on there. Kevin's over there doing some paint work on another dozer, so we'll get started without him here and get after it. Look who come to join us just in time. Can you not handle that little turbo, bud?
It's little in here, but it's not little right here.
You can't handle it, can you?
No.
You ready to stick this thing on?
Nope. It's not gonna go on.
You want some of these bolts I got? Does it need turn?
Yep.
Bolt up at all or not? Oh, he's talking about the turbo's not clocked to the housing there. Not even gonna fit, is it? You gotta spin it around the other way. There you go. You act like it's heavy. I think we're gonna have to loosen all the bolts up and the clamp. Alright, take 2. You ready here, bud?
I'm ready. Please hold. I have to position my friends into the land of turbo. Oh, about went down. Okay. Here we go.
Alright. We got her all loosened up so she'll turn now, don't we?
That's right.
You ready to smash my fingers?
You betcha.
Okay. Lean her over towards me a little more. How about nuts? Right here.
You can do it.
He's got all this loose. We'll get everything clocked where the lines fit. Just like that, right? We'll get everything lined up here. Get her tightened down. We got our oil feed line. Probably should put some oil in the turbo first too, huh?
Wow.
That's what smart people would do.
Well,
We'll get our drain tube on, fill the turbo up with oil, put our top line on, hook all this goodness up.
yeah.
You think she's been sucking in some of her own black smoke here, bud? I guess that it's inhaling its own smoke.
Yes.
She's a smoker. So these old cats, you guys actually see it's got a flanger in there. You gotta take 9/16 socket, unbolt the inner air filter.
Who designed this?
She's been sucking in her black smoke for sure. Filters aren't really that dirty, they're just black from all this smoke rolling up around here and the air cleaner sucking it back in. Well, we fixed that problem, didn't we? Alright, I'll get some extensions here and we'll get that unbolted. Alright, we're at a standstill up here. I'm waiting on that little sleeve to come in from UPS. We got the new air filters in. Kevin's talked me into putting a straight stack on it. No muffler needed. So, let's see how good these people was in the comments if they caught this situation down here. You guys see these two big arms, they go down. It's actually the track frame pivot arms. So if you noticed, this pin has slid out and it was missing 2 bolts. Those caps that's laying there on the floor went up there and yeah, the bolts come loose and the pin walked out. It's kind of a big deal.
Kind of.
So I checked these yesterday and actually these are a little loose. I tightened those back up. So what we're gonna have to do is jack the tractor up and then hopefully slide that pin back over, and it's got to turn 90 degrees. It's got a little tang there in the thing to line it up. So just that easy, ain't it?
Well, for them it is.
Yeah, for sure. So 2 of the bolts is missing. It's got some dirt in the holes. Kevin's requesting an 1/8" tap, which I don't think I have. If not, we'll make one. We'll, if I don't find one here, I'll show you how we make a tap out of an old bolt. Alright, so what I've done here, took a bolt, I put 3 little slits in it here with a cutoff wheel and a grinder. You guys can see that. What that does, it kind of acts like a tap, but it gives a place for the dirt and grime to actually accumulate so you can tap those out. Isn't that right?
That's right.
If not, you're trying to squeeze all that dirt and stuff up the threads. That's going to give a place for it to go. You can run it up a couple times and clean it back out with some lube. That's what you call a poor man's tap. We'll get that done a couple times and then we'll get the jack out and hopefully we can slide her up in there.
Lube.
Lubrication. It gives a place for the dirt to go anyway. There I was, just jacking with the gas. Don't act like it does it. She's in there, bud. We're gonna have to jack up the front of that track frame, pivot it up.
Okay.
You got any ideas for that?
Forklift.
No, I don't think it'll pick it up. You can try it.
Underneath the front, maybe?
Come in sideways and get under a cleat. And see what happens. So what we're trying to do, you guys can see that pin sitting down to angle. That means this arm is pushed up. So we're jacking the tractor up a little bit. But since that arm's way out there, I think we're going to have to pick up the front of that track frame to get this to pivot down. So hopefully that's the plan anyway. Kevin's going to try to take the forklift and move it a little. Yeah, a little bit more. Hang on. Don't move. Put some lube on that. Are you about out of forklift? Maybe you need a man's forklift. Let's try this a little more. You think you got any more, Kevin, or not? I don't know if you can get a big pry bar and pry on this and pry this down. I kind of feel like this is a big dozer. The other thing is we can porta power it in, you know.
You said porta power it in. Oh yeah.
We can get the mini porta power in there. I got it to move over. Because it feels like she's lined up pretty good. You want to do that? I don't care.
Porta power.
Porta power.
Porta power.
Let her rip, Pappy.
Here we go. Oh, look at her go, boys. Stroked
All right.
out.
Here, that's it. You got your 3/8.
There.
Boom.
Stroked out.
Alright, we got that pin back in there and bolted up. We did have a dead battery, so we got one of those changed out. Supposed to be bringing one of those. Kevin's over doing this thing in the paint booth. Mr. Randy's over here helping me. We're changing out filters. We changed out the 3 field filters. We got a primary and 2 secondaries there, letting those bleed out. I had a boy change the engine oil yesterday, the engine oil filter. We've got the transmission filters out. They use 2 of them stacked together. Same filter using the D7 Fs and Gs, and I think the D6s. They're just using 2 of them. This big D8. We've got the magnetic filter out. Randy's cleaning it off. I don't think it's been out for a long time. I had just some normal junk and wear and tear on it. Got the suction screen filter. It's kind of nasty too. I don't think it's been out for a long time. But we're going to change all this stuff. We're going to change the fluid too in this thing. I don't know how much it holds, but it's probably a bunch. But the filter, transmission filters, right here, and that's a suction screen housing here where it goes in a charge pump, just like the D7 tractors. So we're going to go. It's changed out. Got our exhaust pipe here. We're still waiting on that one piece. But Randy's going to get that stuff cleaned up, put this back together, and then I guess we'll drop the transmission oil out of it. That ought to be fun. Alright, got the filters back in the transmission there. Mr. Randy's back here checking the final drives.
Yeah, there she goes.
Making sure they're good and full. We'll get in there next and drain the old training out. Alright, we got a big old mess going on under here. We got the second pan of the transmission draining out. Getting it out of there. I'm going to let that drain out probably for a while, let it drip dry. We got the other pan over there going into the pit. They pumped out of the pit outside to our oil storage, so we'll get some new fluid in here in a second. Alright, we got this big old ugly thing off there laying on the floor. You guys can see it's got the struts on the back like I cut out. Got that curve in it there because the front of that machine's curved. Randy's mad that his hands are dirty.
Okay, guys, what you're doing?
Because my head's all stuffed up. Are you making fun of me? I'm clogged up from here up. What a jackass. Anyway, we've got our grill out here. Kevin's making fun of me. You're not supposed to make fun of the boss.
Kick it when it's down.
So we got to make this thing curved. I have clamped these and warped them around, but we've got this super sweet thing called a press brake.
That's right.
So we're going to take it over. If you notice, we've got lines marked out here. We're going to try to bump that thing to mimic that curve there, so you guys can watch us bend it too much.
Oh no, we won't.
You want to imitate me again?
No.
That's what I thought. Alright, we got a 120 ton press brake here. Mr. Kevin's got our 3-phase fired up.
It don't matter.
There you go. Start here, work out, pull it at us. Okay.
Go with the
So we
curve.
start in the center and move it out. Sure. It's got a lot of positive vibes to it. Let me get that thing out of the way. You all right there? Skipping one there, bud?
Come on, buddy. Number 8. Very funny.
What are you talking about? You just did 2.
I was just checking you, bud. That's what you get for That's what you get for making fun of me.
All that congestion, that nitro's kicking in, bud. The next one's gonna be 10.
Okay. You ready? All right.
Yeah.
Is this the last one? No, we got 13, don't we? All right. Good?
Yeah. Got her, Paps?
No, I got it. Number 6.
This next one's gonna be number 6. Never do such a thing. The show must always go on. Number 6?
Nailed it. Yep. 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 Oh, Nelly. Bet these people are about ready to throw up.
Oh yeah?
They're getting the Bronco ride right now.
Can I check it?
Sure.
Where we going?
Over there to the plasma tip.
This side's perfect.
Looks like this side's curved a little too hard.
Oh, Nelly.
That's your side.
This is my side?
You can take it over and stomp on it. I think we can warp that, can't we?
Oh, I can stomp that down.
You guys see what we was going for there? Alright. Alright, we got the Kevin press on it. How many tons is the Kevin press?
The couple.
A couple. So,
Mama fed me good all my life.
yeah, you're doing a good job. We got it pretty close. Close enough we can warp it by hand here. I'm going to get all these crossbars tacked on here, and then we'll test fit her. Pretty sure it's not going to fit because they've really messed some stuff up over there. But we'll make it fit.
That's right.
Alright, got the grill mounted on the tractor. You guys can see we got a nice curve going on there. Got the struts in the back. I did put some pins over here. They're just grade 8 bolts we got on there for a hinge system. So we've got bolt holes in 3 places here. Tractor's got 3 places here where it bolts up. You guys can see I've actually cut 2 of these off. Somebody has moved this one, raised it or lowered it down. It used to sit up here, you guys can kind of see. So these 2 are stripped out. So what I'm going to do is actually weld a nut on the front of here. So we got new threads, and I'm just going to weld a nut up here. I got a line there. And hopefully that one lines up. The bottom one's still good yet, so that grill was mangled. They actually had a nut welded on the side of here just to get a hole to line up. But that one's in the factory location. That one they moved, but we'll get some nuts welded on there. And you're Mr. Kevin today. Did you know that?
Huh?
Kevin's off today, apparently. I found it. So we're going to get this finished up, and then we'll work on the exhaust. We got that piece for that turbo. We'll get that stuck on there. We'll see if this thing fits here first. You guys might have noticed this cylinder rod I got all coated in black. It's actually just from the torch. What I done, I just turned the acetylene on and lit it. And when you got that yellow flame, you can take that over these chrome rods when you're welding near them. and put that coating on there. And then to keep from getting little nicks when you're welding or torching and all that stuff. So we'll clean it off so I don't get it all over me. But a little tip, it's kind of helpful. It's not made for heavy duty welding and grinding, but just something a little quick like that makes it real easy. So. Alright, got her all bolted up, holes lined up. We had to tweak one there a little bit. But all in all, I think it looks really good. Almost looks like it's brand new.
Factory.
Way better than that other one. See all the good stuff we can do when Kevin's not here? Yeah, it's not too bad. Way better than that other one. Alright, we're going to tackle getting the rest of that turbo together. We did let the rest of that transmission oil drain overnight. So we'll probably stick the plug in it. I got to get it filled back up, but we'll work on that dude up there next. Alright, so since Mr. Kevin made fun of me yesterday, I fired him and traded him for Uncle Scott. That's going to get some comments.
Let him go.
So this is a piece they're waiting on. It's actually a sleeve. It goes in between the turbo and that big old heavy exhaust housing. They use like a metal piston ring to seal these up. The old one was leaking and wore out and rusty and crusty and all that good stuff. So we'll get this one stuck in here and try to get that big old heavy piece. And you know, Kevin's talked me into straight stacking this thing.
Only way to go.
Muffler delete.
It's a fume extractor.
We're not gonna have a fume extractor. Alright, we need that piece that weighs 8,000 pounds over there.
This one here. And Kevin was crying about how heavy it was.
They wasn't messing around. So that's coming out through the hood now.
So we need to
Old bolts out. Alright, we got that on there all tightened up. No issues at all, isn't it right?
That's right.
Slid her right on.
Slid right on.
So, you guys remember earlier we took his hood off. It had an extra hole in here. I'm hoping that extra hole fits this thing. So this design's for a horizontal muffler. But you see that big elbow down there? Kevin's talked me into doing.
Straight pipe.
So I think we'll get our tools out of the way. We'll set this big dude, see if we can get her weaseled on there. You ready?
Good footing here. How heavy is this bastard?
It's not that heavy. I'm going down to the tracks. I got it.
His foot down to the track.
A little bit. Okay, there's the pipe here. Well, most like it was made for that pipe. Stuck all my tools.
I told you to move them out of the way.
We need clearance a little bit over here, Clarence.
Clarence.
Clarence, you know Clarence.
He's down in Kentucky. The bridge
Yeah?
stands like 11.6.
See how they cut that big old hole out in there?
Yeah.
They want to put a muffler there. How about that pipe down there that Kevin's got all rigged up?
Kevin's ready.
Thinks we need 1,246 cubic inches of American power going straight up in the air.
Just like so.
Looks like it's crooked, ain't it?
Well, Kevin's been working on it, so it probably is a little crooked.
I wonder what these people are going to think about it.
Yeah, probably think it's just as crooked.
Good and crooked? Why didn't we put a muffler back on it?
Well, we probably should get down on the ground and look at it. Maybe straight down there.
Well, we'll get her all rigged up. I think it's a little bit too tall, too. We can't get over.
Nothing hacksaw like this.
Can't get over 11'6". Most of your lowboy trailers are 2 foot tall, and that puts you at 13.6. I think we're worried about the other way, Mr. Andy. May have to do some custom fabrication here.
I say we bolt her down.
We're gonna need that rain cap, Randy, off that old muffler. We should turn it backwards and point it in towards Kevin's face so he learns why we don't do that. Alright, so we're going to clearance this out a little bit. For whatever reason, it's not quite clearanced. We're gonna fill that hole back in the cutout for whatever reason. I don't know, they must have had parts to fit the old style. This is a later style. It's what hood used to come off of, who knows.
Hood scoop.
Hood scoop. So we're gonna take this hood off because Kevin will probably sandblast it, and when he does that, after he gets it sandblasted, I'll probably patch that spot back in. It'd be a lot easier.
If we let him come back.
Oh, yeah, that's right, if he comes back. So. We're gonna set this hood back off. We're gonna cut that stack down a little bit, and I think we're ready to pick some tools up and fire this dude up and see if it runs again. Uncle Scott, where'd you get that new shiny hardware? Out of your pocket?
Right out of my pocket.
Uh-huh. Did you bring that from home?
Front pocket, left side.
Everybody says your pockets are always bulging.
Yeah.
Cleaning stuff up. Hey, there's some nice gloves you got there. Where'd you get those at?
I got them from Area Diesel Service.
Great guys.
Hey, can you throw me a 1/4 inch ratchet?
All right, I got most of the crap cleaned up. I'm gonna try to start this dude up, double check the engine oil. We got to check that transmission with this dude running. You gonna open the door up so we can get rid of this American Thunder here? Yep. I'm guessing it's gonna get a little smoky. I just opened the door up, it'll be fine. Turn the disconnect on. Give her a little preheat with the glow plugs. Tightened the track up when it came in the shop. Randy's tightened it up again. We had a little bit of slop in it. I'm not sure if that track adjuster is holding or not. We're going to run it around a little bit more and see. If it backs back off again, that track adjuster's leaking. I can't see any grease coming out in here, but it may be leaking somewhere. I'm going to run around. If it loosens up again, we'll have to bust that track loose and fix all that. So that's probably good, Randy. I'm going to take it and run it around a little bit more. Get some of that new paint smell burn off that turbo. turbo exhaust manifold and stuff's doing fine. You guys seen all that smoke rolling off of it? That's just the shipping oil and stuff burning off here. You can still see it coming off. But she's all sealed up. She sounds good. Not too bad without that muffler on there. It turbo quiets it down. So got one more issue. You guys notice we was messing with that track. When I got it, that track was loose. We've greased it up 2 times. Keeps coming loose. I put a mark on it. You guys probably can't see it, but it's went back another 1/2 inch around. So that means we're gonna have to bust the track off, take off these guards here. There's a big grease cylinder and stuff in there. It's probably needs some new seals in it. I can't see grease coming out up there. It's coming out somewhere, so we'll have to tackle that project. But that's probably going to be for another video. This one's kind of getting drug out. We'll probably do that in the next video. And we got the blade sitting over here. If you guys didn't see, I picked up this blade afterwards in separate load. We're going to probably go ahead and get it back together and all prettied up and stuff. We'll have to put it back on the tractor to put it up for sale. So, but I got to get a few parts for it. I had some bolts that wouldn't come out, had to cut, but real clean blade and everything. You guys can tell it's not been used much, but yeah, there she is. Big old chunk of iron there for sure. Grill's looking good on there. It's gonna make somebody a super nice low hour tractor. I'm gonna get some parts ordered for this for the next video and that blade. So if you guys want to see that kind of stuff, you might consider subscribing so you don't miss out on that, and hit that little notification bell so you don't miss any videos that's coming up. And if you like this video of this big old dude, give me a thumbs up, hit that button, that like button down below. Helps me out a lot. That way we can keep doing this stuff for you. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. We've got merch on the website, as we said earlier, and all that good stuff. And hopefully Kevin comes back to work too, so maybe he'll give this a restoration. We're not sure what color we're going to paint it yet. Originally it was green, got painted yellow. Kind of like the desert tan. Well, you guys might comment below, see what color you might like it to be. Thinking yellow, green, desert camo is kind of cool. Could do the green camouflage, so I don't know. It'd be pretty cool. So guys, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.